makes the big basket, he draws the important foul, he makes the big play, and the people at State told me this week he plays superbly under pressure.
One of the nation's premier point guards, and Jimmy Black.
Well, Jimmy had his best game of his career. He had 21 points. He had 10 assists, both career highs against Clemson last week. He leads in their assists. He's leading the conference in assists. He leads in steals. And in 4 out of the last 5 games, he has been in double figures. And that's important if, again, Carolina is going to get that outside shooting.
All right, sounds like we're going to see some fine backcourt play, Jim. And we'll have the team lineups for today. Perkins and the freshman Jordan. Here's the series. North Carolina leads, and they've really been on the tear recently. They won earlier this year, 61-41. Much closer than that for most of the game. The Tar Heels have won something like 8 out of the last 9 games played and 14 out of the last 16. Well, it'll be Nevitt 7-5 against Perkins at the center jump, and North Carolina controls. Over to Jordan for the first shot. Rebound, tapped out by Perkins. So it took North Carolina only 4 seconds to get off the first shot of the game. And NC State will come up still with no score. Nothing, 10,000 here for this very key ACC game. Just finished in Atlanta. Georgia Tech made a sweep over Maryland this year. They blew most of a 15-point lead today, but they won it by 1, 64-63.
Carolina jumped right into a man-to-man defense right now, Jim.
They'll change defenses throughout the game through other trademarks. NC State more of a half-court team this year, not relying that much on transition as they did a year ago.
Really being patient right now. They're just burning time right off the clock, and they're looking for I sense that they're anxious to get that first 2 points and jump out ahead.
Well, that will help take the crowd out of things for the moment, which could be a big factor here.
That's right, and it's not a bad move. You've seen Al McGuire talks about that all the time. Sit on it for a couple of minutes and see if you can neutralize the crowd and take them right out.
Jim, they're packed back right now, but don't be surprised to see North Carolina suddenly jump out to pressure. Here's Bailey in over Perkins to score.
Boy, that's important because they've got to have not only a big game from Wittenberg outside, but they've got to get production inside from Thurl Bailey.
State leads 2-0. Here's State, man for man also, and they too are packed back inside. James Worthy on penny, spins around to the opposite side. Rebound is grabbed by Parsons.
Yeah, that seemed to be a little bit of a surprise now because everybody suspected State would jump out in that zone and pack it right back in there. They came out in a man-to-man.
A lot of zone push, but an interception, thrown right to Black. He's got Jordan. Oh, here comes Gordy on the foul.
That's what you call being in the right place at the right time, and that's what Hustle will do for you because he was trailing on the fast break. The ball bounced off of the man's foot right into his hands, and he took it right to the basket.
Ties the score, 2-2. 1 minute gone in the first half. No, they're giving Nevitt that shot at the free throw line. He wants it outside. Bailey, 2 for 2.
Well, he said he only got 8 in the first game a couple of weeks ago, and he's halfway there already in the first couple of minutes, and that's important for State.
Michael Jordan and Derek Wittenberg with the big scores in the first meeting in Raleigh this year. Wittenberg with 18, Jordan with 20 for his team. They allow it inside to James Worthy. They want to get Worthy on the Bailey. There goes Worthy scoring.
All I've heard, Jim, is that he's unbelievable once he gets into the paint. It's really tough to do a job defensively on someone that's as great as he is. You're either going to get a foul or he's going to get a basket.
Now they jump the pressure. See, here comes Wittenberg. Fires the feeder to Nevitt. Can't hold it. North Carolina suddenly with pressure. Forced the turnover. Here's the ball outside. Gordy for the jump shot.
North Carolina State read the pressure real well, Jim. They just didn't get the ball underneath fast enough. They did react to the pressure.
6-4. There goes Wittenberg driving on a tipped in by Nevitt, and a foul on the play by Perkins. I think he will. That'll tie it up. Yep. Good follow by Nevitt.
Boy, you see he got the inside step right to the baseline. He put it right up on the bucket right there. Now watch the reaction from Nevitt. That's good inside position. And boy, such a great leaper that he can go in underneath and still penetrate.
3-point play puts State back in the lead. Second time the lead changed hands. We'll repeat that score for you. Georgia Tech 64, Maryland 63. That was some first for Georgia Tech. We'll go over them later. That was at Georgia Tech.
Now State's back in the zone now. They just chipped out of that man-to-man and they were in the zone.
There goes Worthy inside the zone. Oh, he has some great individual moves against anybody. 8-7 North Carolina. Here comes Wittenberg, and right back on top goes NC State. So just like that, boom, boom, the lead changes twice.
Yeah, right now Wittenberg and Bailey are doing it on North Carolina State's end, and James Worthy has got the hot hand down at the other end.
Inside,
nice
there's Jordan blocked to the inside.
See, now that man fell to the floor and got up, but he was dribbling the basketball right there.
No violation.
He couldn't have gotten up.
It's true. 9-8 the score. Here goes Nevin inside. That's 2 shots for Nevin. He's made them both. 11-8. 3-point lead by State's the biggest they've had.
Man to man.
There's a motion offense. Now they Perkins down inside on Nevin. Here's Perkins with a fake. Blocked by Nevin. Lost out of bounds. Nevin stayed right with Perkins. Blocked the shot out of bounds. And State will get the ball as we get a timeout with 15.5 minutes to go in the first half. And the score, State 11, North Carolina 8. Let's play.
I want to look at Michael Jordan trying to come in and post up inside when North Carolina has the ball.
There's a zone press. They beat that down to low. No. Cozell McQueen walked.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Turns it back over. They had beaten the press pass mid-court. Might have had a little bit of advantage.
Good comment, Jim, because they did have a 2-on-1 advantage, and then you have to make a decision. Are you going to go ahead and take the shot when you've got the advantage, or are you going to go ahead and set up the offense?
Well, you probably wouldn't get a better shot, so why not take it?
Absolutely. He had good range right there.
James Worthy around his man. Reverse layup. Game away. Oh, that would have brought the crowd to its feet.
There's a classic move right there.
11-8, 3-point lead by State. Each team's had the lead a couple of times. State's the lead for the third time, and it's the biggest lead.
Carolina still, it's man-for-man defense.
Jordan really laying off low, trying to help out. The foul on the inside is going to be a foul on Perkins. There's Valvano's record, and tremendously improved this year his team is. Ranked 17th in the nation. Right now, they won 15, lost only 3. Still man for man.
They've moved Bailey inside now a little more. He's coming out now. McQueen and Bailey are posting up inside every chance they get.
Now, you can see North Carolina just playing rather gingerly at the moment, but they'll suddenly jump to pressure at times. Parsons breaks across with a one-hand moving shot. Pretty play by Scott Parsons.
Fine one-on-one move by Scott right there.
13-8. That's the biggest lead yet by the Wolfpack, 5 points. Nevitt's getting a rest as Cozell McQueen, the freshman's replaced him. Doherty feeds down low to Worthy. Worthy spins around with a jump shot. Worthy's just been like a house of fire here in the opening minutes. There's a long pass, and look who blocked it out of bounds to the other end.
Boy, that's great defense right there. That's hustle. You can't score at one end and turn around and give it up at the other, because if for Dean Smith you aren't going to do it. Most coaches you won't, but certainly not for Dean.
Or they made the spinning jump shot, then went to the other end and knocked the fast break past Alabama. That's really covering court. 13-10, 3-point lead by State, zone defense. I think just from the pass inbounds, though, Jim, I don't think...
Let's see if it's a sequence. Right, they're in the zone right now. Nice pass inside.
Out of the Bailey, and he's fouled by Worthy. Worthy reached in. They had a pretty good play set up. When you get it inside the zone, you really got the other team at a disadvantage.
Take a look and see the nice bounce pass against the zone. There was the reach in right there. 52 right there, grabbing him with the arm. Otherwise, he probably would have gone up and powered it right with that, Jim, and if we ever get a chance later on, we can take a look at it. But boy, I think he was starting to go up into the power move, and he got caught and got held right as he was going up into the move.
5 points by Thurl Bailey. Second leading scorer for State, the leading rebounder. 13.9, and he's 7 rebounds a game. That's 6 points for him today, and State goes back on top by 5 and 15-10.
The State has got a quicker lineup in there with Nevitt out. See, when they've got Cozell McQueen in.
There's a little triangle that North Carolina likes to use.
Yeah, they trap right down on the baseline now. If the ball goes down inside of the power man, then they'll put the trap right on them.
Release man is Jordan in backcourt. Now they set the triangle to the outside. Great pass to Doherty. That's a goaltending. Yep, Doherty's going to get the basket. They switched that triangle, Jim, from the right to the left. It worked perfectly.
Now, watch the pass. As soon as it hits the hands, bang, right down to the other ninth man who came in behind the zone, and watch the goaltend right there.
Obvious by Parsons. That cuts the lead back to 3, 15-12. NC State, they'd like to get revenge and even this thing up this year. The State very much in the thick of the race for the ACC, 5-2.
I'll tell you right there, that was a clinic on how to move the ball against the zone defense right there.
They don't think that Lowe will take the outside shot. Inside goes Harold Thompson. Powered up a bad shot. Here comes Jimmy Black leading the fast break for North Carolina. Black will take the jump shot to the circle. North Carolina has cut it to 1 with 13 minutes to go in the half. It's 15-14.
You called it right, Jim, because the young man did throw up a bad shot at the other end.
Now North Carolina coming out of the 1-3-1 to put on pressure. There goes Pazic on the move. And the rebound lost out by Worthy. Good job by Whittenburg.
Boy, he really
up the rebound.
Yes, sir, he really skied. See, he gave Nevitt a little bit of a 2 or 3 minute break right now, and he's got him right back in there.
Nevitt returns, replacing
Lorenzo Charles. He did put up a bad shot the last time down. Now they're zoning on the out of bounds again right now. See, they're in a 2-1-2 zone. And maybe we'll see if they do continue to do that on all the out-of-bounds plays.
Well, they always use zone on out-of-bounds. Sometimes they'll jump right back into another defense. 15-14, 1-point lead by State. Giving Lowe the perimeter shot. He's going to take it. Lowe from the side.
Yes, sir. You've got to take
that shot, Jim.
Yep, you've got to take that. That's a great percentage shot right there. You can work all day against the zone, and you might not get a better percentage shot than that.
17-14, State by 3. Weak side pass to Jordan. Right back to the outside to Black.
They're passing across the zone now, trying to get the zone to move from shift from one side to another and then come in back from behind it.
There's Worthy. Oh, what a difficult angle that shot was. Impossible angle almost, and Worthy dropped it through. 17-16. Boy, the margin on that shot, Jim, was just, here comes Worthy. Interception. Back to the left side.
Good ball movement.
Jordan for reverse slam. They blew it. Oh, boy, they'll look at that one again. Jordan should have had that one. He tried to go under.
Right, not quite sure he should have gone to the other side because he had 2 people to rebound right behind him.
17-16. North Carolina missed a golden opportunity to regain the lead with a 3-on-1 break. Whittenburg wants the ball low.
Well, he does. He's trying to post right in now. Now, Bailey's trying to post inside there. Carolina's out of that zone and back into the man-to-man now.
There goes Bailey on Worthy. Got help from the side. Parsons taps. And now here's Nevin. Puts it up. Blocked by Worthy. And they call goaltending.
Lenny Wirtz called it. Yep. The one side official didn't call it, and I was waiting to see whether he was going to get it or not because I definitely thought it was a goaltend right here. Now, take a look and see if we can get up there.
Right here.
Watch the follow-up right now. There it is, right there. Pretty good call.
Okay, 11-16 to go in the first half. 19-16 State, and we'll be back with more ACC basketball after these messages from your local station. $100 to the member institutions under approved plan. Well, Dean Smith has had some problems here in his home court. Last couple of home games against Clemson and Wake Forest. Lost to Wake Forest. Trailed Clemson 9 points in the last half and pulled that one out. And right now the Heels are behind State by 3 points. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Jordan can hold it. Turned it over on a fumble at the baseline, and State will get the ball. Doherty comes back in after being replaced just for that play by Jeb Barlow. I think Smith wanted to see Doherty look at the defense.
I think he did, and I also wanted to comment on the good job that Nevitt did underneath here offensively. He's had the big block at one end, had the good rebound right at the other end. He's really been playing well.
He breaks the ball well there. Jump shot by Nevitt. Loose ball. Jimmy Black will run it down for North Carolina. 3-on-2 break. Black, right side, right over the head of Jordan. And North Carolina's ball handling the last few minutes has not been that good.
Right. You won't see many North Carolina teams come down twice in a row, Jim, and not get a shot at the basket. That's 2 turnovers in a row.
There's the turnover total. 4-3. State's turned over more, but North Carolina's come right here in the last minute of play. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. 3-point lead for NC State, 19-16.
Interesting matchup because Michael Jordan is guarding Darrell Whittenburg. That's the one thing Dean is happy about with that freshman, that he's really come along defensively. They knew he could score.
They got a couple of leapers there.
Oh, have they? I'm just anxious to see if he takes him one-on-one. He wants him to clear out the side, but see, Doherty's helping out.
There goes Bailey. Blocked by Perkins. Great block by Perkins. And now comes Jimmy, Jordan. Jordan feeds the left side. Doherty, they set it up for Worthy's jump shot. Oh. Tipped up inside once, then peeled off there by Bailey for State.
Good rebounding by Bailey. See, Wittenberg wanted to play one-on-one, but Matt Doherty was sloughing off and took the baseline away from him.
Yeah, they gave him the weak side help, all right.
That's right.
They tried to clear out for Wittenberg, but Doherty tipped that off, and immediately they're in a team defense, as they usually are. Beatty's man fires over Worthy, and the rebound's down by Doherty.
See, they play such great switching defense, Carolina does. Anytime a man gets beat, boy, they are sloughing off and helping out all the way.
Worthy up inside. You don't believe that shot?
Oh.
You have to see that when he switched to his left hand and scooped it up. 19. 1 point lead by State now. North Carolina behind. Worthy's inspired first half play has cut it to 1.
Well, he's kept them right in it so far. There's no question about it. He's kept their whole offense going.
Perkins or Worthy won. Maybe getting a little bit tired because Chris Brust is reported to come into the game.
I think State's going to be satisfied right now to work as long as they have to get the kind of a shot they want right now, Jim. They're not in any hurry right now.
Bad pass. Picked off by Perkins.
Sidney won't do that too often.
19-18. I don't think he saw Perkins. He was hiding back there. Worthy goes to speed, hits Doherty open. Rebound, Perkins puts up the left-hander, can't hold it. And here comes Derek Wittenberg down the right side. Should have gotten the ball to the middle. 3-on-2 break is cut off. Still State in the lead by 1 point. 19-18.
Bailey is really doing a good job posting up inside. Boy, they threw it right away on him again. He has had really good position the last 3 or 4 times down.
That stops the clock. Jim Valvano on the sidelines. Boy, he is aching here to get a win over State's arch rival.
Well, you know, in a game like this, every turnover is going to be as critical as it can be because you can't afford to do it too much because you've got 2 teams that have the firepower to be able to take advantage of it, and it becomes a 4-point play. The 2 you lost and the 2 that they pick up if they come down and hit.
Both Lorenzo Charles and Harold Thompson check into the State lineup.
It's curious that he's going to do a lot of substituting, Jim, because Carolina's people have been playing 35 to 40 minutes a game, and I suspect that maybe Jim feels he's going to put a lot of people in and out, and maybe in the last 5 minutes he might be able to wear them down a little bit.
There goes Perkins, left hand hook.
Oh, boy.
Sammy Boy puts the North Carolina team in the lead 20-19. That's the 5th time today the lead's changed hands.
They're taking him right out of their rhythm again now. He's jumped into a 2-1-2 zone again to see if he can take him out of the rhythm. Jimmy
Braddock, Buzz Peterson, Chris Brust are all in the North Carolina lineup. That was a dangerous pass.
Boy, it was.
State has lost its lead. Now here goes Lowe to the outside, and rebound by Perkins. North Carolina up 20-19. They've never led by more than 1 point. Perkins will take that shot. You can't give it to him. Excellent outside shooter.
Boy, Carolina's really posting up inside really well. We've got a foul on Kozel.
That's on Charles, I believe.
Charles right inside because Carolina has 2 or 3 people just shifting positions, and they keep rotating in and out, and they are really posting well.
Dean Stamp with his full staff. Bill Guthridge. That's Eddie Foger on the right. Roy Williams on the left. And we'll get a timeout here with 7:20 to go in the first half. And with the score,
Gaten was red hot to begin with, but he hasn't even gotten a shot and hasn't scored any points in quite a while.
Well, I think you got to credit defense for that.
Oh, yes.
Especially Worthy.
They've making an adjustment, and now State has to make the adjustment to try to shut down James Worthy. So, see, it's a checker game that you've got to play.
First 5 is back in there for North Carolina. Here's Jimmy Black, perimeter shot. Sidney Lowe has it, looking up court for the pass break. 1 point lead by North Carolina. 7 minutes to go in the first half. That's all defense. Now they're still man for man.
Man to man right now, and Bailey and Nevitt are posting up inside.
It's kind of a sagging man for man.
They are.
Not much pressure at all.
Falling down into the paint. They're going to make them hit from outside if they're going to hit. It looks like a man, but they're just about playing his own defense right now.
Outside shot, Wittenberg.
Oh, great tip.
Beautifully by Bailey.
Oh, a great tip by Bailey.
8 points for Thurl Bailey. Off to a fine start, just like Worthy. 21-20. State back in the lead.
See, and that's big, Jim, because they've missed the last 2 or 3 times down against that zone, and that's important to get that kind of a tip in out of it.
There's a double weak side pass. The rebound by Nevitt. Here's Sidney Lowe leading the fast break, being harassed by Black. 21-20, State leads by a point. Lead changed hands 6 times already in the first 14 minutes. That was a lob, and intended for Wittenberg.
Here, the low man came out, picked his man, and they tried to play the alley.
It was Worthy on the slam dunk.
Oh, and that's a good call on the part of the official now, Jim, because the North Carolina State man fell down, and believe me, I had my eyes right on it. He fell to the floor almost before the contact was made, and technically, that can be a now watch him fall. See, he fell before he even got hit. Didn't even get hit, and technically, that can be a technical foul.
Well, I think if you're trying to avoid injury, and I think that's what Worthy was trying to do there, they do permit it this year.
Oh, yes.
22-21, North Carolina back on top. 7 times the lead Jay's hand.
They're in a zone right now, and that 2-1-2 packing it in. I've got a feeling they're going to make State hit from the outside right now. They're not going to give them anything inside.
Well, look for Wittenberg, number 25. Right there he's with the ball. He's a deadly shooter from the rim.
See, they've got Nevitt and Thurl Bailey trying to post in low, but they just aren't giving them anything inside. They've got to start looking for the creases.
2-1-2 zone by North Carolina. It's about the 4th or 5th defense they've used so far. 22-21.
There it is. That's the shot.
Quick pass.
All right, that's the area right there. As long as that side man, that weak side guy, doesn't stay way out there and keeps sliding in as the zone shifts, you can get that good percentage shot.
And you see, State's back in the lead by a point. This one has really been hammer and tong.
Now State's going to do the same thing now. They're just going to say, okay, we'll match up with you and see if you can hit from outside. They're giving it to Black and to Jordan. Now they got it inside right there.
Worthy. He threw the foul on Nevitt. Worthy one-on-one is just too much to try and stop here by State. It's going to go for about anybody in the country.
Watch this. Watch the ball. Watch him just cuff the ball right here and come up underneath. Boy, I'm a quality All-America right there.
There's his figures for the season. If he has a chink in his armor, it's right here, the free throw line. He's a little under 70%.
I read an article Lefty said earlier when they were playing him, if he were drafting, he'd draft one of them number 1 and the other number 2. He may be right.
Rebound, Nevitt gets the ball over, so Worthy missed them both. 23-22, NC State still in the lead.
Jimmy's telling him he wants them to move. He had his hand up in a circular motion. I suspect maybe he wants the offense to start moving more. He's going to change his offense. Carolina's coming out and extending the defense. They've gotten out of the zone.
As the reach-in foul by Jimmy Black. Encouragement here from Jimmy Valvano. His team's leading by 1 point. Interesting quote. That was sort of tongue-in-cheek, and Lefty's not going to overlook Ralph Sampson.
No, I don't think so.
He's going to start a franchise. 23-22, 4-point lead. 4 minutes to go in the first half. 1 point. Parzic out of the corner. Another one by Parzic. Third time he's hit from the outside.
They are really shooting well in the first half, and they've played under control. They've played a good tempo. I think they're right where they want to be right now.
25-22. How's North Carolina do that twice in a row? They'll go to the weak side.
Trapping right down there now. Nevitt and Parsons trap right down.
Doherty, and he's fouled. Doherty could tie the score. Possible three-point play. Boy, Doherty has gotten over his tentativeness.
Well, those are the kind of shots you just have to take right there. We missed the action on the foul. Good follow-through, good concentration on Doherty's part. Release the ball.
First foul on Wittenberg, and this will be 9 points if Doherty gets this one. That ties it up at 25-25. The third tie we've had with 3:40 on the clock here in the first there for both sides.
Carolina's got them full court now. They aren't going to just got it in time right there. Man-to-man, now they're trapping right there. 2-2-1 trap on the ball.
Wittenberg.
Now they got it up very well.
Down the release, here comes Bailey. Fired it right through the legs of Parzic.
Jim Valvano just really went crazy.
Well, he had North Carolina backed up on a 2-on-1.
And that's twice he had them backed right in on the press, and both times they didn't get a shot at the basket.
25-25 tie. 2-3 zone by NC State. Jimmy Black outside the zone. Sam Perkins tried to give it away to Jordan. It's bounced right back to him. Inside the Jordan.
See? Now they're trapping right there in the corner.
Now they got the little triangle going, too. There you see they'll flash Perkins up on the jump shot. Rebound by Jordan.
Great rebound. Great rebound by Jordan. That happens when you don't have the responsibility on the zone, where you haven't got a man to box out, and boy, did he leap.
Always tougher to rebound out of the zone. Doherty open again.
Has to take that shot.
Big first half for Doherty, 11 points. Doherty and Worthy have scored 23 of North Carolina's 27 points.
You said, Jimmy, he hasn't shot before, but everybody talks to me, says he's a good shooter.
Excellent.
He's showing it.
Well, he was a little tentative on the loss to Wake Forest, some thought, but he hasn't been since. He played great against Clemson. There's a walk up against Devitt.
He just didn't have control of the ball. Jim Lovano's talking to the outside official, saying, hey, that man's climbing over his back. Look at Jimmy telling him he's up over the top of his big boy.
27-25, 2-point lead. North Carolina's never led by more than 2. Now you saw the turnovers really piling up for State, and it's costing them.
They are really patient against the zone. Watch now and see how long they go until they get somebody in the seam or they get the kind of a shot. They've got an overload on one side now. They got the triangle going right here, and they're flashing Doherty right into the middle. Now they'll move around to the other side till they find an opening in it.
Jimmy Black penetrates. Now Perkins is open out of the corner. Rebound, Devitt.
Good rebound.
State needs a basket to tie. Parsons is on a hot hand so far for State. So is Bailey. Nevitt's worked well on the inside. The guards haven't produced that much, only 4 points.
Boy, Bailey came out to get the ball and backdoored and made a great move and was wide open. Man to man now.
1.5 minutes to go in the first half. 2-point lead for North Carolina.
Yeah, I get the impression that Wittenberg really wants to go one-on-one right here against Jordan. You see they're guarding to help out right there.
Wittenberg blocked by Worthy. Perkins will get it.
See how they help out defensively? That's super.
27-25 North Carolina. Now we have 1 minute to go in the first half. Worthy double team. Moves away from the pressure.
See how long they take, Jim, to get the last shot.
Jimmy Black, about a 20-footer.
Didn't wait very long, did they?
Nope, didn't have to.
You notice how all of them fake that shot so that they can get the zone to move. Instead of just catching the ball and standing with it, they make an effort like they're going to shoot, then get the zone to move.
There goes Sidney Lowe driving on the inside and scores. Lowe saw the crease, and he never looked back.
And that's a big basket. It may not seem like it right now, but that kept them within striking distance. They had a chance to go down maybe 6 at halftime, and that was good. Now they're going to wait for the last shot.
29-27. They have 17 seconds here. Wait for the last shot. North Carolina trying to ensure they'll have a lead at least by 2 points.
They got Wittenberg and Lowe chasing out front. Nevitt's guarding the basket.
And there goes a whoopsie-doo inside by Jordan. Still kept alive. And now State Bailey's got it, but time has run out. So North Carolina was able to do what they wanted to do, prevent State from getting another shot. They failed to score themselves, and that leaves the Tar Heels on top by just 2 here at the intermission. Well, that's the end of the first half of today's game at Chapel Hill with a score. North Carolina 29, NC State 27. State 27. We'll have more ACC basketball after these messages. 22:57.
That was his wife Jane right on his left.
And they've come here. They came here for a reunion. And he's seeing a great game, isn't he?
Sure is. So am I.
33-27.
Now Carolina's
man for man.
Man to man. But I said before we went out, I sense that they've really picked up the intensity defensively. Carolina has, and that's why Jim Bovano wanted to get that timeout.
Now they forward. There's the jump switch. Weak side pass to Lowe. Perkins is on Nevitt, and Worthy is on Bailey. That's the inside matchup.
They're always conscious of giving Michael Jordan help on Wittenberg. No matter where they are, they're sloughing off so he can't play one-on-one.
Lob is picked up by Perkins. Turnover again by NC State. It's plagued them. That's about the 11th one of the game.
Right, and about the 3rd time they've come down without a shot.
Oh, what a pass to Perkins.
You see what happens is when North Carolina gets into a lead, then they're able to play to their strength, which is quickness, and that's what they're doing right now.
35-27. State right now can't handle Perkins and Worthy on the inside.
Well, the next couple of minutes, Jim, are really critical for State. They have got to keep their composure, they have to keep their poise, and they've got to get 2 at a time and not let this thing get away from them.
North Carolina Bailey for star. There goes Bailey. That was a gamble inside. It didn't work. Bailey gets an easy one. That breaks the ice for State Hill. They went almost 3 minutes in the second half without scoring.
Good patience and good ball movement, and they got the shot that they wanted.
35-29. North Carolina led by 8 points briefly, and that's represents the only kind of a comfortable lead that either team has ever had in this game.
Now, see, they've got to bear down defensively at this end and see if they can shut them down.
Look at Worthy walking. Traveling by Worthy. Now that turns it back.
Triple team that time, Jim. You saw as soon as he got it, maybe that's one of the things they talked about at halftime, some of the adjustments they were going to make to try to close him down.
Jim Bradley comes in replacing Michael Jordan. So in effect, North Carolina now has 2 point guards in, Braddock and Black. They lose a little size here, but they can match up pretty well in backcourt with Lowe and Wittenberg. They put Jimmy Black now on Wittenberg. They're going to see what Black can do, because Black's a great defensive player too. Braddock comes in to guard Lowe. See how they're helping him out right there now. Perkins is just dropping right off his man to take the baseline away from Wittenberg, which is what he wants to get. Backdoor to Lowe, over to Bailey. Beautiful pass, and Bailey slam dunk, and now State has come back to within 4. Just what they had to do, Jim. Instead of letting it get away from you, just stay with your game plan and be patient and do the things you know how to do. 35-31 now. North Carolina's lead's been cut in half since it went to 8. Could be a big possession here for the Tar Heels. Doherty. He tried to make that would have been a subtle pass to Worthy, because he was looking definitely to the middle part of the court and flipped it right to Worthy out of the corner of his eye. Doherty has really been posting a lot inside against Scott Parsons, and I'm anxious to see if they're going to try to get him the ball more inside. He's really, now they've zoned on the out-of-bounds play right now. See, they changed the sequence and have got a zone going. Yep. Even though you got a zone, you can set some solid screens to the inside. From behind and get in behind it. He's a little triangle. Worthy, Perkins, and Doherty. Now they're going to shift it to the other side. Now they hit the man seat. Doherty moves right into the crease, and that was really good ball movement. There goes Doherty right in front. Wide open. Tipped up and in by Worthy. Boy, that's great. 14 points for James Worthy, 37-31. North Carolina by 6. Got the zone moving enough, Jim, that they just waited till they could get the ball inside and then forced the zone to make a move, and then they reacted to it. Man for man by North Carolina. Outstanding passer in Sidney Lowe running the State attack. There he goes. Bailey picked up by Worthy. Another big play by James Worthy. He had Doherty open. Now he hits it. Here comes Doherty feeding to Worthy. Oh, what a great pass. He took the defense right with him because they thought he was going to go ahead and shoot. And another timeout for North Carolina State. And I have to say, another good one, Jim. In basketball, and that man is very mobile, and he can go both ways. Brilliant All-American performance so far by Worthy today. There, look at that shooting. 71.4% by North Carolina and over 66 by State. Well, when we were off earlier, we said the team that had the hot streak in the second half. They're not guarding the passer. That gives them 2 men to guard trap right now. Let's see what they do with it. Now they've got an advantage, but I think now they'll have to hold it up. Worthy is back there with Black. And here's a whistle away from the ball. They stopped playing because I think Lowe hurt his finger. Lowe, you see, he's wearing that little brace there on his middle finger of his right hand. He had a bone chip and a dislocation in that middle finger of the right hand, I guess, against East Carolina. Yep. But he did come back in the next game and had a super night. So it looked like it was sliding loose. Right. So Joe Forty very alertly stopped play. 8-point lead here by North Carolina. Big possession by State. Yep, it is, Jim, and let's see how patient they are. That's exactly right. This is a big possession now. Bailey tried to go back door, but North Carolina sagged and had it clogged up in the middle. Pass wasn't there. Double team on Wittenberg, lost out of bounds. Well, once you get trapped along that sideline, Jim, what happens is they've got the 2 Carolina players, but they trap you along the sideline, which gives you an additional man. See, that becomes a third man. Here's Forty and Dean Smith having words over there. That play was right in front of the North Carolina bench. You see him, Dean sitting down, but they were having a few words questioning who touched the ball last. Black looked like he thought it was touched by Lowe. Do you think Dean could be objective about it? So can any coach. 39-31, and North Carolina in the lead.
Carolina is really playing tough defense, really playing tough, and they sag and help off so well. That's what's so great about it.
Like Cozell McQueen's really hustling inside once
Sure
the ball. Harold Thompson and set an illegal pick. I think it's called walking.
Did get a travel on. They did get a travel. Boy, that's about turnover, isn't it, this half, Jim? That's about 4 turnovers so far this half.
13 on the game. The turnovers really killing State. North Carolina's a very opportunist team.
There's the back door.
Perkins, you saw it on the lob. Sam Perkins from Worthy.
Boy, I could see it coming. Boy, he made his move, and the offensive player just put that ball right up there. That was beautiful.
10-point lead, the biggest one yet. We may see a lot of zone out of North Carolina now with this kind of a lead. 2-3 right at the moment. Ball will knock loose, and we're going to jump ball.
We got Carolina's ball now, and that's as good as another turnover against North Carolina State right now because they're not going to get a chance at the jump.
13 minutes to go in the game. It's getting away from State right here.
It is right now, and the defense is doing it all right now. They're hitting well from outside, Carolina is, but their defense has been the answer to this first 10 minutes right now.
Jimmy Valvano, you saw him a moment ago, very much into the game. Team fought a great first half. Right now they trail by 10.
They're posting the big men up inside again now.
Perkins,
what a great move.
Kept in by Perkins.
See, the defense reacts so much, Jim, to one or the other of the two big men that the other one's usually left in a great rebounding position, and that's what happens. Boy, he was left unattended, and he just perfect timing.
12-point lead you saw is the biggest of the game so far.
Now they're going to sit in the zone. Now, Wittenberg has really been taken out of the game so far, hasn't he, Jim?
Gotten only 2 points. That was the first half. Lowe trying to penetrate, opening up to Wittenberg. Still isn't there.
Oh, right over on the other side, on the weak side.
There goes outside shot by Lowe. Rebound by Jordan. North Carolina's got things going its way right now. 12-point lead in the ball with 12 minutes to go.
It's interesting to watch McQueen try to guard Perkins. It's really a mismatch right at times because there he's got McQueen for holding him right there.
Now they're trying to check Jordan. North Carolina is really putting pressure against the man-for-man now. Cutting back door, moving without the...
What he does those other 36 minutes will tell me whether he can play for me or not.
No question.
And boy, those Carolina players, when they don't have the ball, do they know how to move.
Keeps a lot of pressure on the defense. 43-41. Perkins will give and go. Fall away shot. Tipped up once by Worthy. Pulled down by Lowe. State's got a chance. Lead pass to Parsons. Great pass. Parsons scores.
Great pass, and that's a great move to the basket. I wouldn't care what I had to do. As dry as they've been so far this half, they had to get that ball up in the board and either get fouled or get a chance for a basket or a three-point.
10-point lead now by North Carolina. 43-33.
Yeah, they pack it in offensively. Boy, they pack it right in.
18 points by Worthy. 45-33. Back to the 12-point lead with 11 minutes to go.
Well, when they can get you to play a man-to-man defense and they can run their motion offense with a lot of movement and movement without the ball, then they're at home.
Now they could go to Worthy and Perkins now the rest of the game. It's going to be very tough on State trying to come back.
McQueen's trying to fight for position on the other end against Perkins right now, but Perkins is giving him a lot of room. He knows he can help out because he figures McQueen isn't going to take that shot from outside.
Abbott's out of the lineup, getting a rest. Bailey and McQueen are the two big guys inside right now.
They're really playing a man-to-man now, but they're helping out too. Now they're going to trap right there.
Low, good pass to Wittenberg. Got out of his hands. It'll be North Carolina.
Oh, he's going to get it the other way. Going the other way. Yep.
Went right off Wittenberg.
I give the official underneath credit, Jim, because he did not have the call, and he looked right at Lenny Wirtz. Now, I'd have to see whether that ball was slapped or not, because I wasn't quite sure. Let's see. Well, there was a reach-in right there, but we can't tell whether they've got a piece of it or not. But he looked to Lenny Wirtz, and Lenny said, no, sir, it's going the other way, and that's good work by the officials.
North Carolina leading by 12.
is trying to help out inside, but we got to travel right now.
As the walk by Doherty. They were looking inside the big men. Now Max Perry comes in the lineup for NC State. Dean Smith today looking for victory number 452. For his career, all spent here. The man he worked under as a young assistant here at Chapel Hill is in the stands looking on. You saw him earlier, Frank McGuire. Well, the second half turnovers. So that's 14 turnovers for NC State and only 5 for North Carolina.
And that's really, it's been the difference right now. We talked about it at halftime, and that's what we knew, that one team or the other, they'd have to cut down those turnovers. Now they're in a 2-1-2 zone, and they're satisfied now, Jim, just to sit in that zone and let them pass the ball around if they want to.
There goes Charles.
Good shot.
Lorenzo Charles, the little freshman, found an open crease in the zone. 45-35, lead back to 10.
Still a long way to go, and you've got to keep your poise and keep your patience and try to get 2 at a time.
There's a reach over by Sidney Lowe. Jimmy Black.
Oh, he had a pretty good reason, because the North Carolina man was going after the ball and just took his man and pushed him right out of there.
Boy, Lowe and Black are really battling inside. And there's a foul against Sidney Lowe. Technical foul.
2
another one. That's going to be 3 shots for North Carolina, and the game may be out of hand now for North Carolina State.
That's 2 straight technicals now. Are they shooting down here on the foul, on the personal foul? Because you've got 2 bench technicals right now, which are 2-shot fouls, Jim, which means they've got 4 free throws coming. I don't know whether we got a 1-and-1 here.
Jimmy Black's going to shoot.
Now, just so our viewers will understand, the one official that was right there got him on the first one. Then the other official that called the play underneath came out, and he got him with a second one. Now, there's the first one right there.
Those are personals. Now we're going to come.
Okay.
Nope. Only 2 shots. Only 2 shots on the technical foul. Jimmy Black hitting one of the 2. Now North Carolina's ball at midcourt. Right. Jim Valvano is on no humorous mood right now.
Wait a minute now.
Now they're trying to say there was another technical foul. Well, we're guessing all this. Not being down on the court, we don't really know.
It didn't take Dean long to get back in it, did it? Now we got a ball out of bounds after the technical. There was just 1 technical foul. Okay, I'm sorry. But it is against the bench, a 2-shot technical, and that's why I was surprised they weren't shooting 4, but I wanted to see. Thanks for the help, because otherwise they would have shot 4, but now you know they do get the ball out of bounds at midcourt after the technical.
46-35. Jimmy Black now being pressured by Max Perry. He's in place of Wittenberg, who's had an off afternoon.
See how State has picked up the intensity defensively. They are really putting the pressure on.
Good interception by Bailey. He backed right in fronting Perkins. Here's a good defensive play by Jimmy Black. That fast break pass was going to Lorenzo Charles.
You know, we've been around basketball long enough, Jim, to see coaches do those kinds of things at times on purpose. I wouldn't say that that's what Jim did, but boy, it can turn a team around at times.
Well, we'll see. Now Jimmy Black, he walks. Credit that to Max Perry. Perry raced up the midcourt to cut him off, and Black didn't see him until the ball arrived.
I'm glad you have it, because that's a call that's made 9 out of 10 times, and I'm always curious to see whether a player, now did he travel? He put that ball down before he took that second step, at least in my opinion he did. But that's a call that a lot of people will make, because, boy, that's difficult to know whether it's a charge or not.
46-45, North Carolina leads. Broken up by Worthy. Here's the lob to Worthy. Worthy coming into the layup.
Boy, you talk about big men that can really move 94 feet. That's really a pleasure to watch.
A junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, James Worthy, 20 points.
So graceful, Jim.
13-point lead, biggest of the game. Lorenzo Charles caught the air, and he banks that baby in. Boy, he had the weight.
Body balance.
That's the first... second basket by Charles this half. There's the lead, 11 points for North Carolina.
If they can just do a job defensively at this end and hope that the offense will take care of itself, but they just have to try to stop Carolina from scoring. They can't trade baskets for 7 more minutes. Now they're going to spread them out a little bit right now. See, they put the power forwards right at the hash mark. Jimmy Black right at the free throw line. put the two guards outside, and they try to get the big men to get the back door, or even Jimmy Black will pretend like he's going to come out, and then he'll backdoor.
Everybody playing high with an open middle.
Call it the 4C and watch him start cutting. There it is, right there.
Perkins. Tremendous second half by Sam Perkins.
Yeah, what State tries to do then is to cut the cord in half if they can, guard the basket, cut the cord in half, and then trap them somewhere if they can.
As I was saying, Perkins has got 10 of his 12 points here in the second half. 50-37. Second time has been a 13-point lead. Here goes low inside, draws the foul. That'll be on Michael Jordan.
See how they're not afraid to gamble defensively, Jim. They're always gambling, but they can get away with it because they're so quick. Now watch the great body balance right here. Two people had them surrounded when you're doing anything, because somebody could make a mistake either in the press or even in the half-court defense, but if your people are good enough and quick enough and smart enough to react to it, you can get by with it.
State backcourt, which usually contributes about 24 points a game, today has scored only 6. Wittenberg with 2, Lowe with 4, all in the first half. Less than 7 minutes to go. North Carolina trying to pull into assurance of holding on the first place in the ACC2 this weekend. Lowe gets the second one, and it's 50-38. Lead is back to 12. They get a timeout, and with the score, North Carolina. That would be a big game for Virginia. You know, if North Carolina wins this game, Virginia's going to have to keep pace. They're a half game behind the Tar Heels in the league standings. They're the only two teams with just one ACC loss. Charlottesville. That'll be one of our Metro Sports telecasts, and believe me, there'll be no empty seats there.
I was going to ask you. You wouldn't want to take me along, would you? Is that why you said that, so that I wouldn't offer?
Is that going to be something, huh? They played right here on this floor. Virginia led by 9 points or so, and North Carolina came from behind to beat them. Full court pressure.
Extending the defense now to 94 feet. They've got to up-tempo the game right now. They have to take some chances. They're not out of it yet, but they'll take some gambles now if they have to.
Well, they do. North Carolina's the kind of team will make you pay for any gambles you make.
Now, watch the offense now. Nice
There's
defense.
The tip. That was Wittenberg to Perry. Broken up by Black. He's got Perkins down there if he can hit him. There's Perkins with a fake, and he is fouled by Bailey.
Now you watch the feet if we've got the replay, because he almost traveled. Watch the feet before you watch for the foul and see if he moved his feet. There's the interception right there, which was really too bad on Perry's part. Now, see if we've got it. See if we watch the feet. I thought he moved the pivot, but there was no question about the foul, and that's, I say, a good percentage foul right there. No use giving him the stuff at this stage. Make him hit from the line.
Perkins' 13th point of the game.
Shooting 74% coming in, 51-69.
Well, down in the pressure part of the game, Jim, he'll shoot more like 80%.
Boy, he's got a fine touch. Watch the follow through. There we go.
14 points for Perkins, 20 points for Worthy.
See, now Carolina's going to go right up and extend the defense.
Never let you relax, North Carolina.
No, they won't. That's change just for the sake of change. Just get you out of your rhythm. Keep you alert.
It's the biggest lead North Carolina's had, 52-38.
See, now, State can't afford to burn too much time off the clock against that zone right now. They've got to get it up. Good shot by Bailey.
14 points for Farrell Bailey. Bailey's played well for North Carolina State. Their problems have been in backcourt on the outside.
Sure has. They've done a great job on Wittenberg and Lowe.
There goes Gordy all the way in.
You could see it. You could really see it coming, because, boy, they took off and saw the weak side was all the way wide open, and he came in, but two State players just took their spots. Watch Sidney Lowe. He's going to run right to his spot right there, and he took the charge, and that's a good play on his part.
Jim, I think he saw Dean Smith point his head. Use your head, he
right.
said.
No way. He should have just brought it out. Of course, that's easy to sit up here and say that, but you want to bring it out and let them start chasing the ball again.
Baxbury inside. Bailey spins again. Rebound covered up by Worthy. James Worthy, a powerful rebound.
Boy, Lorenzo Charles almost snuck inside and got a critical rebound that time, but he didn't.
Now they're going to spread the four corners. It's the old maneuver North Carolina used for years.
Now they've got Black right back on the high post again right now. The two forwards are at the free throw line extended. There's the back door they're looking for.
A little bit different four corners.
Yes, it is.
The man working in the middle is usually the corners.
They call it a 4C, somebody told me, and they've got 5 players out above the free throw line extended looking for the back door.
Let's see old four corners up here,
now,
Jim. They got a man in each corner.
Yep, there they are right now with the man on the free throw line.
4 minutes, 45 seconds to go. There's the back door to Doherty. Goes shot there, and he walks. Doherty got the ball caught on his hip and travel with it, and it'll turn it over to NC State. Well, State did what you should do against that spread. They didn't panic.
They didn't panic, and that's twice now that they've forced Carolina to turn it over, and that's not bad against that kind of an offense because it is murder, as you well know from seeing it for so many years. It's murder to defense.
Turnovers are getting more even now in the second half. Lorenzo Charles.
Oh, that's a double dribble.
Yep. He dribbled, grabbed the ball, and dribbled again.
Yep.
And Jim Valvano is just frustrated on the sideline. Slams a towel down. You didn't see it, but it's sort of self-reproach.
He could have recovered that ball, and he would have been all right. But once he put it back down on the floor, that's a no-no.
Jimmy Black foul by Lowe. Lowe tried to get him on the blind side and steal. That's the second foul on Lowe. Only the fourth team foul the second half. I don't think we're going to see any bonus free throwing in this game.
That's the kind of a gamble you have to take right now, Jim. They've got 2 more to waste, and you've got to take the gambles and see if you can get away with one. The officials might not see it. You might get away with a hold or a slap or something like that, some contact.
But you can play aggressively here, and the other team's not going to shoot anyway. Doherty will go to take it right in, and he does get the foul. It's on Charles. Lorenzo Charles, freshman from Brooklyn, New York. Well, he's going to be a great player. What an athlete.
He is going to be. He is very strong, and he's probably their strongest player. And he did
great upper body.
Now, see, they were going to go up and try to get the block right here, but boy, that was great movement on Doherty's part. 43, Charles did pin it against the board.
Almost goaltending.
Right, almost goaltending, but they did get him with the body on the way in.
Doherty had an outstanding first half, 11 points, but he has not scored since intermission. It seems obvious to me, Jim, that Doherty has become more aggressive in the last couple of games.
He has, and it's great when you've got a guy that's one of your leading scorers in the first half, hasn't scored in the second, and still you've got yourself a 12 or 13-point lead. That's the kind of chemistry that this team has. They can pick each other up.
Well, Perkins picked it up in the second half.
Perkins has.
There's a intercept in by Jordan. Michael Jordan read that pass perfectly.
Against the zone, that's too long a pass to make, and the player didn't move to meet the pass, and that makes it twice as difficult.
3 minutes, 50 seconds to go. 53-40 North Carolina. Now they're back spread again.
They just keep rotating people. State's trying to defense it by switching as much as they can.
Perkins, loose ball will come to State. Perkins tried an impossible shot that time. Now we're down to the 3.5-minute mark. Jordan pressuring low. There's Gannon from the outside. Good shooter, young freshman from Illinois.
Joliet Catholic in Illinois. That's a good percentage shot right there.
Terry Gannon, how did he get away from Notre Dame, I wonder? From Joliet, 53-42. 11-point lead by North Carolina, the home team. Since they went to the spread, North Carolina's turned the ball over 2 or 3 times.
The other great advantage they have, Jim, is their big men move so well. A lot of teams with big men can't play this kind of an offense because their big men don't move well enough. But when you've got a Worthy and Perkins that are as graceful as they are, then you can use this all night.
Here's Doherty feeding to Perkins. He's going to pull it right back out. 2:45 to go. And North Carolina up by 11.
Well, they're playing the clock right now.
Worthy driving.
Boy, when he cuffs that ball and just sticks it out there like Dr. J, that's amazing.
55-42. There's the Worthy's figures today. 22 points. Another steal. Worthy's got it. Boy, has Worthy put on a clinic today.
He really has. At both ends, and that's what's so great about it.
55-42, North Carolina. Jimmy Black penetrating. They're the old standard 4 quarters right now.
You know, Jimmy is unhappy because his team played so well for the first 20 minutes. About as well as he could have expected them to play, but the turnovers have really hurt them in the second half.
Well, tough to sustain it against a team as talented and as playing with great poise as North Carolina has here today. 55-42, the Tar Heel lead. Oh, they had Jordan backdoor.
And they know they play this so often and they execute it so well that they know when to make that move. See, they're all just standing around right now like they're not doing it.
Doherty got to feed it to Perkins.
They just know what spots to move to at the right time.
There goes Worthy driving, and he's fouled on the play. Well, Well, Worthy made up his mind that time. He was going to take it right in. He's fouled by Bailey.
We got some wholesale substitutions right now, Jim.
Yep, they got to pull out 4 of the 5. Buzz Peterson comes in. Jimmy Braddock, Chris Brust, and Jed Barlow.
Well, I guess if you had to look for a plus, you would want your club to play this well, wouldn't you, when you're playing Virginia on Wednesday?
Yep. Worthy will be the only man that will remain in there. And he'll be there to take his free throws. 22 points today by Worthy. He's only 4 below his all-time high, which is 26. He scored that twice, this year against Kentucky, last year against Duke. It's the one place where Worthy has not been brilliant today. He's 0 for 3 and free throwing.
Yeah, he was 66% coming in, 69 of 104.
If he makes this, he goes out of the game. There he is, his 23rd point. In comes Cecil Exum. Worthy goes out to a standing ovation before this appreciative crowd with a minute and a half to go. And now with a score, North Carolina 56, NC State 42. Let's pause for these messages. Players, hopefully, before we switch to Durham for today's second game between Duke and Virginia. Well, but a disappointing day here for the pair from DeMatha, Sidney Lowe and Derek Wittenberg. Wittenberg with only 2 points. He's the leading scorer for State this year, 15.2. Rebound Chris Brust, 1 minute remaining. The ball is lost out of bounds by Brust. So State will get it on a turnover from side court. This will put North Carolina's overall record at 16-1. And they'll be 7-1 in the ACC with a big game coming up next Wednesday at Virginia. Showdown for first place, perhaps. Virginia still has to play at Duke tonight. Ball went right through Cozell McQueen's hands out of bounds. It'll be North Carolina's ball with 44 seconds on the clock. Our Heels have put this one away. 14-point lead. Another victory over NC State. It's going to make it 9 out of the last 10. Andre Peterson for a layup, and he blew the layup. Rebound by Cozell McQueen with 26 seconds to go. Here's a fast break to Charles, and there's a whistle on the play. The foul will be against North Carolina. Barlow, I believe. Jed Barlow. First foul on him. Don't forget, coming up next on many of these stations, Virginia versus Duke from Durham and Cameron Indoor Stadium. Lauren Brown and Jeff Mullen standing by to bring you the action of that one. And earlier today, Georgia Tech nipped Maryland by 1 point, 64-63. Georgia Tech led by 15 points in that game. Maryland made a valiant effort at the end to pull it out. It came within 1 point. Second shot coming for Charles, who's now had 6 points. It's the biggest scoring game Charles, by the way, has had. Previous had been 4, and there's 6. 6 for him today, 56-44. 20 seconds to go. Down to 15 seconds. There goes Barlow. Jed Barlow with a bank shot for North Carolina. 58-44. 5 seconds to go. This will be the last shot of the game coming up. State gets this one off. And it's Pittsburgh with a scoop shot missing. And a 14-point lead. And here comes Dean Smith being congratulated by Jim Valvano. A 58-44 victory. And our McDonald's Outstanding Player Awards today go to, for NC State, well, first for North Carolina, as James Worthy, who had a brilliant All-American performance. 23 points he scored, and he was just devastating in his play today at both ends of the court. And for NC State, Thurl Bailey, a junior from Seton Place, Maryland, led the scoring for the Wolfpack with 14, but played an all-around outstanding game for the Wolfpack in a losing call. So we want to salute both these young men, James and Thurl.
And playing against them, it's just 2 challenges, you know, I just have to take on for myself.
Well, let me sneak over here, if I can, to Jimmy. Jimmy, you were only 1 assist going into today's game behind Walter Davis to put you second on the all-time assist lead. Are you content? You and Matt seem to be role players, and I assume that's exactly what you'd like to do. Does it bother you not to get as many shots as the big guys?
Not at all. When you have 2 All-Americans like Sam Perkins and James Worthy, I don't mind getting in the ball at all.
Well, We spotlighted the young man on your left earlier in the game today because he had 21 against Clemson and 10 assists, which were both career highs.
No, he had the 10 assists. He was passing me the ball. Thanks to Jimmy, and I got the point.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel more comfortable in the Clemson game, for example? The two big men right here were only 7 of 17. That forced you and Michael and Jimmy to try to take those outside shots, and everyone is going to play a zone, or most of them are going to play a zone against you, Matt. Psychologically, do you just get yourself geared up?
Well, if they're going to give me the shot, I feel I can hit it, and so does Coach. So I'm just going to go shoot it, and if I do miss, we had good board coverage. So, I think it's just helping the team.
Okay, let me ask you this. The starting five, I don't know if all of you can hear me, but the starting five, for example, in the Clemson game, you played 180 out of the 200 minutes. And I guess in most of your games, that's about what's happening because you've been in a long time. In terms of the season going on and on, I'd like you to react to the fact about the stamina factor. Whether you think that later on, as you get into the end of the conference and into the ACC tournament or into the NCAA tournament, whether you think that will affect you or not, Jimmy.
I don't think it'll affect us at all. We prepared since October 15th. We've been getting in great shape. We had a running program. And I think that's something that's going to help us in the long run to be out here and be in different situations so that when we face them later on, it won't affect us. We won't get nervous or anything.
Matt, how do you react to that?
Well, I think a long season, it does take its toll, but this is what we've been working for all season long. So I don't feel stamina, I think we're in good shape, and we're just going to play hard. I don't think it'll hurt us.
James, you ready for any reaction?
Well, I think we can all give 40 minutes out of 24 hours a day, to go out and bust our butts. And even when we do get tired, I think the guys that start have confidence in the guys coming off the bench. So if we do have a stamina problem, I think we have a lot of confidence in the guys. So I don't really think it's affecting us at all.
Sam, do you have any? Or did you hear the question?
I didn't hear the question.
Well, I was talking about the stamina factor, the fact that you played 180 out of 200 minutes against Clemson, and it seems to be going that way in most of your games. Whether you think toward the end of the year that psychologically it may begin to wear you down a little bit, and teams may try to substitute more and get into more of a running game, or a physical game even, so that they can try to get you or James out of the lineup.
Well, I tell you, 180 minutes is a whole lot for an individual, and especially for the four of us here, especially five of us rather. It is going to wear us down, but we're doing the job out there and doing everything so well that things will just work out for us where we can sub and let the other guys play. Because, like you said, 180 minutes is kind of long, and other teams might be aware of that, so they might use some kind of strategy against us to wear us down or, like you say, get physical.
Jimmy, you and Matt, I'll address this more to you since I thought that you really did a job of shutting down State's guards, Wittenberg and Lowe. We spotlighted Wittenberg before the game because he's their leading scorer. He's a great outside shooter, likes to drive and penetrate, but he only had 2 points at halftime, and I thought that really you did a spectacular job on both Sidney Lowe and Derek Wittenberg and really took their guards out of the game. Did you have anything in mind?
Not really. They're both great players, as you said. We can't attribute our defense to one person. It was a team defense. We all help each other out. We're one family, one unit, and as a consequence, all of us helping each other caused them to have a low-scoring game.
You said that you've got, at least I read a quote, Matt, that you said somewhere you've got the two power guys inside and you have Jimmy and Michael outside, and what did you say that you were?
I said maybe that I try to just keep them happy, but I'm just, I'm here to take the open shot if I have it, pass the ball inside, play good defense, and just, play hard.
Well, let's talk about next Wednesday night, if you don't mind, if I could keep you for a few more minutes. I know you're anxious to get back in the locker room, and I really appreciate the fact that all of you would take the time, but maybe if you could address yourselves to the big one coming up next Wednesday night. Maybe I can start with you, James, in terms of the matchup and what you think about it, what you think it might take.
Well, it's definitely going to be, a hard game. We can't afford to make any mistakes down there. We're going to have to try to maintain Ralph as much as possible, but we can't put a lot of focus on just him because they do have some other ball players that are, very capable. So I think we go down and execute and, play the way we can play and, give it all we got. I think, whether, win or lose, I think everything else will take care of itself.
Okay. Sam, would you like to address yourself to it?
Again, I didn't hear the question.
Okay, again, let me say I was talking about the Virginia game. I've got you at a disadvantage because I've had my back to you most of the time, but I was asking him to react to the big game next Wednesday in terms of preparation and how you feel it will go, what you think you have to do as a club to offset the strength of a Sampson and an Othell Wilson.
Hey, we have to do the same thing we did today, is really execute hard, really out-hustle them, because they are a capable team, and they proved that they've beaten us a couple of times, rather. And they can come back and when they're down. But what we have to do is really execute and just run our plays and we'll be set. Even though it's going to be hard because we're going to their home court, it's going to be a good game, and they're really talented. And Ralph, he's just all world. So you know, as five of us, as a whole team, rather, we just want to go down there and play like a team and just hopefully come out with a win.
Jimmy, you and Matt want to react, and then I can let you go because they're telling me in the earphone that after I get all of the reactions, I can go back upstairs.
What we're going to do is just going to go out and execute offensively and defensively, and I'm anticipating a great game, and may the best team win.
Do you think it'll be a low-scoring game, or do you think it'll be a transition game, 94 feet?
I really can't say. I guess we'll find out Wednesday about 9 o'clock.
Boy, you're as non-committal as Dean.
Right.
I think we're just going to have to limit our mistakes, force them into some turnovers, play hard, and hopefully, you know, we've been working hard fundamentals all year long that, you know, we'll play our best and things will work out well for us.
Well, listen, Jimmy, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it.